I'm in trouble. That blast. It took out the power in the whole city. I hope my backup power supply holds long enough. How does Kabam even know? I mean, of course they know. Kabam knows everything. The champions we use, the money we spend, our exploits. Like we aren't even people. We're just points of data. I deleted the video. At least that's what I told Kabam. They weren't fooled. But this is my data. I understand it, really. Imagine trying to sell health potions if this...
On the floor, Mr. Grant! I hope you swept earlier, or else your belly is going to get very dusty!
Is it possible to achieve immortality within the battle realm, more specifically within Realm of Legends? Skilled fighters know that Realm of Legends isn't very dangerous. It's a testing ground, a place to farm potions. And to that I say, fair enough. But what if you aren't very skilled? Like, what if your name was Otto? Otto Play. Suddenly Realm of Legends is quite dangerous. And while we've proven that several champions are capable of auto-playing 1, maybe 2 fights, I refuse to believe we've reached our limits, and I will not be satisfied until I find out what those limits are. I'm talking about trying to defeat all 11 bosses within a single run using nothing but strategy and the absolute dumbest AI. This, my friends, is the Pursuit of Immortality. When in full control and not in the hands of Otto, Realm of Legends poses little threat. Most fights are fairly straightforward, with 3 notable exceptions. Juggernaut is the first true challenge, going unstoppable after each use of a special, a speed bump to veterans, a nuisance for newbies, and a run ender for Otto. Make it beyond Juggernaut and you're smooth sailing until Wanda enters your vision, where it is highly recommended to bring a poison immune champion, as Scarlet Witch's random debuffs can leave you simultaneously poisoned and heal blocked, only to watch what remains of your health bar fully deplete until death claims its next victim. Then we come to everyone's favorite fight, Wolverine. You have to find a solution to Wolverine's seemingly infinite healing, and if you cannot, then regardless of how close you are to the finish line, your journey ends here. Outside of these 3 fights, everything else should be no sweat, right? Normally you'd be correct, but you need to stop thinking about this challenge from your own perspective and imagine how Otto is going to tackle these fights. Anyone foolish enough to embark on the impossible goal of achieving full immortality can tell you that beyond Winter Soldier, nearly every single fight threatens your very existence. Winter Soldier doesn't hit very hard. His power drain can be aggravating, but it's an easy pass considering our champions are fresh, 100% health, full yellow bars. Captain Marvel, on the other hand, has harder hitting specials that deal true damage, ignoring all of your armor, and is further amplified by a Fury buff, making Winter Soldier's metal arm look like it's actually just a silver-painted, air-filled sock and bopper by comparison. We've already discussed the unstoppable ability of Juggernaut, but did you know he also gains a Fury buff, further increasing the threat of the unstoppable metal-plated Kool-Aid Man? Fortunately, Rhino gives us a much-needed rest fight. The only way this adorable horn-headed goat could create trouble is if we had class disadvantage or something. Wait a minute. Did I somehow accidentally yet fully deliberately hide which champion we're pursuing immortality with? Oops. Enter Sasquatch. Bigfoot. Pie Grande. The hairy, fearsome beast who is an Instagram model by day. I mean, just look at those pecs. And an immortal god by night. We'll come back to why Sasquatch is our 8-minute abs weapon of choice in just a moment. Let's get back to Realm. So now that the Mystic Cat is out of the bag, even the seemingly simple Rhino fight just became worrisome with his class advantage. And wait, is that a Fury buff? Does every champion in here have a Fury buff? What the hell, man? Make it beyond Rhino and Storm should finally be an easy fight, right? Wrong again. Storm may be easy when in full control to dodge her devastating lightning blasts, but the AI is a stupid, remember? Thankfully, we finally come across a champion without a Fury buff, so Storm's normal attacks should be fairly minimal. It's just the specials that we have to survive. But of course, Storm's Awaken ability deals extra damage depending on how full her opponent's power meter is, which means if Auto feels like holding for a special 3 and somehow doesn't magically dodge Storm's lightning blasts, it's game over, turning Storm into the deadliest opponent yet. To claim immortality, we'll have to find a way to mitigate this damage somehow. If by some miracle we weather the storm, Vision is up next. Okay, please tell me this is finally an easy opponent, right? Well, let's think about this for a moment. Vision hits like a noodle. Easy, check. What else? Well, Vision power drains, which is a little annoying since one of the ways Sasquatch heals is via special 3, but Sasquatch has passive healing below 40% health as well, so even with some power drain, we should be good, right? Except, doesn't Vision have an ability to heal block? Aw, man, come on. Every fight seems so easy when we're in control, but so far every single fight beyond Winter Soldier poses a serious threat. At least beyond Vision, it's just Black Panther. He doesn't hit very hard, does not go unstoppable, does not have class advantage, doesn't rain lightning bolts from the frickin' sky, doesn't heal block, and as an added bonus, he applies a fairly marginal bleed that we can actually take advantage of with the Willpower Mastery. This is quite possibly the easiest fight in all of Realm of Legends, if we can make it here. But beyond Black Panther lurks yet another deadly threat as we approach Scarlet Witch. I failed to mention one slight little detail when first discussing Wanda's ability to poison and heal block us. Keep in mind, Sasquatch is not poison immune, by the way. Scarlet Witch can also gain multiple stacking Fury and Cruelty buffs, which not only amplify her regular attacks, the attacks that we'd normally be able to balance out with healing if not for the heal block, but these Fury and Cruelty buffs also make her special attacks just as devastating as Storm's, threatening Sasquatch to change his Facebook status from actual living creature back to just an urban legend. Just kidding, Sasquatch hates Facebook. If we somehow manage to tiptoe around death's cruel grasp through these first 8 landmines, we come to everyone's favorite part of Realm of Legends, Wolverine. If we can figure out a strategy to get us here, a certain set of masteries and synergies to turn Sasquatch into an unstoppable force, well, what happens when he meets an immovable object? At least if we can figure out a way to get past Wolverine, the final 2 opponents should be light work, right? No. You see, when you and I play Black Bolt, the Fury and Cruelty buffs he gains only last for 6 seconds. But when you attack Black Bolt and strike him with a critical hit, the buffs he gains as a result are in fact permanent. Which means yes, the fight starts very easy. But after a couple of minutes, Black Bolt becomes a silent but deadly freight train, and this freight train has special attacks that stun. Speaking of stun, just for kicks, let's say we survive Black Bolt's Death Whisper and we make it to the final boss, Hulk. The science, class advantage having, special attack stunning, wouldn't like him when he's angry, aka low on health, Hulk. Oh, and did I mention we're back to yet another champion in here having a Fury buff? All of which makes for another seemingly easy to manage hurdle that Auto will likely trip over as the class advantage and extra attack at low health Hulk stuns us to death. So how then? Can we possibly come up with a strategy for the Auto Fight AI to not only survive all 11 bosses inside of Realm of Legends, but even overcome Wolverine's infinite healing? By striving mightily, of course. And Sasquatch is about as mighty as you can get. But we have 4 other champion slots to fill in, which leaves us with 3 options. Option 1, we could bring a full synergy support team to create the biggest, baddest, sassiest Squatch in all the land. Option 2, we use those other slots to strategically add counters to other fights, like a poison immune champion for Scarlet Witch or Magneto to stop Wolverine's healing. Option 3, a mixture of both. Any guesses which option we go with? It makes sense to try and put special champion counters on the team until you realize Otto isn't smart enough to select the right champions for the right fight. And a champion like Magneto will get thrown in and killed almost immediately, long before making it to his destination. I could intervene and manually throw the right champion into each fight, but that's cheating. The most human interaction I will allow is anything before Winter Soldier loses a point of health. So killing off champions or activating pre-fights is acceptable. But once I hand the controls to Otto, I will not be interfering for any reason. So that means the other 4 champions on the team will only be there to support Sasquatch. And boy oh boy, did I ever try a lot of variations for synergies. My starting proof of concept team consisted of Odin for the protection pre-fight, making it so that Sasquatch could not take more than 18% damage in a single hit. Really just some protection from big specials. Then I filled in the rest with increased health synergies. Why, you may ask? Well, increasing Sasquatch's maximum health is vitally important for 3 reasons, 2 of which have to do with Sasquatch's awakened ability. While below 40% health, Sasquatch has a chance to heal upon being hit. A 5-star rank 5 Sasquatch has a base health pool of 44,200, which, by the way, is the highest in the game. 40% of this is 17,680, meaning Sasquatch won't start healing until he's below 17,680, which, depending on the fight, could be too little too late. As we increase Sasquatch's health, the threshold for him to start healing goes up as well. This might not seem like that big of a deal, but trust me when I say it really is. Sasquatch will consistently be below 40% health, so consider this number to be Sasquatch's true maximum health. Additionally, each heal from Sasquatch's signature ability restores 5% of missing health, which means the more total health missing, the more health gets restored. Lastly, Sasquatch's Special 3 will also passively regenerate missing health, and once again, the more that's missing, the more Sasquatch will recover. If I lost anyone here, all you need to know is the larger Sasquatch's maximum health pool is, the more effective his healing will be. My initial mastery setup was not very optimized for this challenge. It was basically one of my standard setups with the addition of Inequity and Resonate, masteries that reduce the opponent's attack. The combination of healing and damage reduction from these masteries is the real secret sauce to turning Sasquatch immortal. Resonate is just a chance on hit to reduce the opponent's attack, while Inequity reduces attack for each debuff on the opponent. Luckily, Sasquatch naturally has Rupture debuffs. We'll talk more about Rupture itself later, but for now, just know that each Rupture is reducing the opponent's attack by 6% thanks to Inequity. So, Inequity and Resonate gives us 2 forms of damage reduction. But we're not done yet. Sasquatch actually has a 3rd way to reduce damage. Stacks of Rage also reduce damage by 5% each. Rage stacks fluctuate throughout the fight, and we'll talk more about that system later. So now we have Inequity, Resonate, and Rage all working together to reduce the opponent's damage while having the highest base health pool in the game and an absurdly powerful healing ability, which, by the way, that healing is also increased by the Recovery Mastery. Are you starting to see just how underrated Sasquatch actually is when built right? This man is a god. But is he immortal? There's only one way to find out. As expected, Winter Soldier was not an issue at all. The first real test is Captain Marvel. Even with class advantage, this is a much scarier fight because Captain Marvel hits way harder than Winter Soldier. But you know what? Sasquatch doesn't care. He floats right on by. Juggernaut, with his ability to go unstoppable, is up next. But as you can see, whether unstoppable or not, Sasquatch gives no Fs about getting hit in the face. At this point, my confidence is growing until I remember that Rhino has a class advantage against Sasquatch. But Otto once again shows no fear, smashing Rhino in the face with a giant tree. This is incredible. Seriously, at this point, I don't know if anything can stop. Oh my god. Storm could really kill us. She could end our run. Immortality's so close, yet so very far. But we survive, and much like our Sasquatch, the dream is very much so alive. Vision is up next, and as it turns out, inside of Realm of Legends, he doesn't actually heal block you. making this fight a total joke. As expected, Black Panther is indeed the easiest fight by far inside of Realm of Legends. All I could think about while Otto was treating the King of Wakanda like his plaything was the poison-dealing Scarlet Witch coming up next. And here she is. I was on edge the entire time fighting Wanda, especially when the poisons started stacking up. Fortunately, Sasquatch's heals are all passive and not buffs, otherwise Wanda would nullify them on critical hits. That passive healing combined with Willpower's passive healing combined with reducing Scarlet Witch's damage through stacking debuffs with the Inequity and Resonate Masteries all worked together to just barely allow Sasquatch to survive and ultimately take down the witch. Holy crap, man, this is actually unbelievable. All this with just a 5-star version of Sasquatch? We're up to Wolverine! Listen, changing masteries is not allowed for this challenge, but I did it here anyway. You'll see why it didn't matter soon enough, but I max out Courage for extra damage, Despair to reduce healing through my debuffs, and also put points into Petrify and Pacify, reducing Wolverine's healing while he's stunned. Sasquatch actually stuns quite a bit. If you've ever watched Otto fight, he likes to use specials at the worst possible times when the opponent is clearly blocking. But believe it or not, Sasquatch actually uses this to his advantage. His special one has a chance to stun the opponent when it's blocked. Going into the Wolverine fight, I knew I wasn't going to die thanks to Wolverine's bleeds actually providing some extra willpower healing. And I was actually fairly confident that Sasquatch would defeat Wolverine if given enough time to stack debuffs. But how does Sasquatch actually stack up these ruptured debuffs? Well, they have a chance to apply on medium attacks. They each deal some physical damage, nothing crazy, but hey, it adds up. And more importantly, when combined with the Despair Mastery, Rupture shuts down Wolverine's healing. Rupture normally lasts for 17 seconds, but can be refreshed with Sasquatch's special 1. The only problem is sometimes Sasquatch will either not throw a special for over 17 seconds and they drop off naturally, or if Sasquatch gets to a special 2, he actually converts them into instant damage, and only reapplies 3 Rupture debuffs regardless of how many you originally had. I watched Otto try to defeat Wolverine for an hour, and while sometimes it looked like progress was being made, Wolverine proved to be too much for old Sassy Pants. Eventually, I took control from Otto, stacked up the Ruptures manually, and drop-kicked Wolverine into the next century just to see how many hits were dealt in total. And, well, it was a lot. Just for fun, I wanted to see if Otto could at least clean up the rest of Realm of Legends. After his performance leading up to Wolverine, I thought it'd be pretty easy, but Black Bolt annihilated me. Like I mentioned earlier, he gains permanent Fury and Cruelty buffs, increasing his attack and crit damage, and sadly, Sasquatch couldn't even get Black Bolt below 50% before dying. Sasquatch far exceeded my expectations during this run, but he's not immortal. Yet. I am not about to give up here, man. Not when we're this close. There's got to be some way to stop Wolverine's healing and survive the onslaught from Black Bolt. It's time to rethink our strategy. After analyzing the run, I realized that Odin's pre-fights probably didn't help me all that much, considering one of the biggest threats, Scarlet Witch, nullified those buffs anyway. So Odin is gone. I am also going to try cutting the health synergies in favor of the following synergies that all work towards keeping more ruptures on the opponent to not only prevent Wolverine from healing with the Despair Mastery, but also reduce more attack with the Inequity Mastery. Let's try this team right here. We've got Squirrel Girl, who provides 20% extra duration to Rupture, Hulkbuster, who extends the duration of Sasquatch's Wrath mode, which I haven't mentioned yet, but man is Wrath ever powerful. Wrath activates in 2 ways. You'll enter Wrath mode after using a special 3, or Wrath has a chance to automatically activate after building 5 or more stacks of Rage. You have a chance to build Rage with each light attack, or you can also build Rage if 5 seconds go by without landing an attack, something that doesn't happen too frequently when we're in control with Sasquatch, but actually happens quite frequently when Otto is in control. When Wrath does activate, Sasquatch has a 100% chance to apply Ruptures on medium attacks instead of the normal 30% chance. Additionally, Sasquatch gains more power, his specials cost less power, and even give the opponent less power. So the idea here is that hopefully, if Sasquatch can stay in Wrath mode longer, he's spamming more special 1s to refresh these higher Rupture stacks. Other Wrath bonuses include a 100% stun chance on special 1 when it's blocked, increased special 2 damage, unstoppable while using heavy and special attacks. Oh, and also stun immunity, which should really help in the fights beyond Wolverine. Which, speaking of champions that will stun us if we can make it through Wolverine, we're going to add Hulk to the team. Hulk gives Sassy an extra rupture when using his special 2. Ideally, Auto uses special 1s to refresh the duration of ruptures, but if Auto throws a special 2, which removes all ruptures and replaces them with only 3, at least we'll have 4 ruptures thanks to this synergy. By the way, ruptures from Sassy's special 2 actually deal a lot more damage than Sassy's medium attack ruptures, so that's another bonus to this synergy. The final synergy slot is going to Black Widow. That's right, we're going with the old school stun on special synergy here, which conveniently pairs up with both Hulk and Hulk Buster that are already on the team. Unfortunately, the synergy only counts once, but with Sasquatch's extra power gain and lower power used per special, we can fire off way more specials than the average champion. Combined with the Petrify and Pacify masteries, more stuns equals less healing from Wolverine. Plus, the more the opponent is stunned, the less we're getting hit, so it doubles as a survivability synergy as well. And to top it all off, if we can stun Black Bolt, we might just be able to more consistently push him to special 2s, which inside of Realm of Legends, Black Bolt actually deals 5% of his own health to himself as recoil damage, which means we don't need to hit him as much, which means he won't gain as many buffs, and this strategy feels so perfect at this point that Immortality is practically in the bag. And I'm dead. Remember when I said those health synergies were vital for Sasquatch since they essentially increase Sasquatch's healing? Well, after removing those synergies and opting for more damage and utility, Sasquatch could no longer survive against Captain Marvel. But maybe I just got unlucky, so let's try this one more time. I kill off all my synergy champions like I've been doing for each run, and this time Sassy makes it all the way up to Storm, where I proceed to get blasted in the face. Damn. I dropped some points from Parry and Limber to max out the Greater Vitality Mastery in an attempt to make up for lost health from the synergies, but it's not enough as I once again get blasted by Storm. As much as I wanted to complete this challenge using only a 5-star Sasquatch, I realized I might need to step up to a 6-star version. I'm on the CCP beta, so I quickly ranked up a 6-star Sassy, figuring with all the extra health a 6-star at rank 3 has over a 5-star, I got this. And unsurprisingly, it was looking really good. Until it wasn't. Storm blasted me with a 23,000 damage special 2. Pretty unlucky, I thought, as I started from the top again, only to get blasted by Storm again, and again, and again. I quickly realized I may have just gotten lucky in my first pass against Storm. But then I remembered I had Odin on my first attempt, with his safeguard to protect me. But I wasn't sure I could afford to put Odin back on the team. I think I need all these synergies to get past Wolverine, if I can get there. I refuse to give up. I can almost taste the immortality. I chalk it up to bad luck, start the run over, clear my way up to Storm, and this time Sassy easily withstands Storm's blast by having good rupture RNG to reduce her damage. Vision and Black Panther are guaranteed free wins as we push through to Scarlet Witch. Sasquatch's extra health pool makes the willpower healing that much stronger as I stay safely above 50% health for most of the fight. That is, until Scarlet Witch stacks up a couple of Fury buffs, Wanda power steals her way to 3 bars of power, and apparently, with Furies, she's able to launch 20k specials just like Storm. Man, what is going on? In one frame, you're alive, and the next, dead where you stand. I've had enough. I'm taking Black Widow off the team, and although I did consider swapping in Odin, I think I'd rather just have the increased healing instead. Luckily, Hulkbuster has a health synergy with the other Iron Dudes. Again, it may not seem like much, but any extra health I can get is crucial. With the new team assembled, let's try this again. At this point, Otto has everything before Storm on 100% farm status. Nothing even comes close to killing him. But is the extra 6% health enough to blow past Storm? Yes, not only that, but Sassy safely annihilates Scarlet Witch too. Just look at those healing numbers. Finally making progress, we're back to Wolverine, but will these offensive masteries be enough without the extra stuns of the Black Widow synergy? Holy crap, look at those ruptures. Not gonna lie, man, it hurts pretty bad watching them all fall off like that. But believe it or not, the Hulk synergy giving extra ruptures on special 2 is really putting in a lot of work here. We need 7 debuffs to completely shut off Wolverine's healing, which we don't normally have. But because these special 2 ruptures deal more damage, it's actually enough to mostly counteract the healing. Combined with the extra duration of ruptures from Squirrel Girl and the extra duration of Wrath from Hulkbuster, Otto manages to defeat Wolverine without any input from myself. We are not out of the woods yet, however. Still 2 very deadly opponents that have been waiting patiently for us. First up, Black Bolt, who's getting low and his furies are really starting to climb. Hang in there, Sassy. No, come on, dude. Heartbreak. I don't know if we can just call this one bad luck, since Black Bolt is always going to build up those furies since he gains permanent buffs when critically hit. We have to dig deeper. No more messing around. It's time to pull out all the stops and fully optimize this beast. After working my ass off, doing dozens of tests, I still failed. Seemingly out of options, I found one last way to grant this sassy old boy some additional firepower. I've taken nearly every utility mastery away, leaving nothing but a single point in parry, limber, and dexterity. You see, this whole time I was focused on increasing Sasquatch's survivability, but if Sasquatch hits harder, he can burst through Black Bolt without him building too many buffs. Then, versus Hulk, I realized it's a smash or be smashed kind of fight. Hopefully, this extra boost in attack with the Assassin Mastery is enough to finish off Hulk quickly in his most deadly phase. This is it, man. I feel really good about this build. Come on, Sasquatch. One last time, old boy. Otto, I'm trusting you, man. Let's kick some ass. Count it down, Otto. Let's go, baby. This is a really clean storm fight. This could be the run right here. She's dead to those ruptures. Doesn't even need to be hit again. Scarlet Witch down. Wolverine ain't coming back from this, man. He's done for. Is that a reparry? Otto's a god. Dude, Black Bolt doesn't even have that many buffs. The build is paying off. A higher damage. Come on, hit him with the special 3. It's over. Just hit. Done. This is it. Sassy, this is your fight, man. Don't get hit by Hulk special 2. Good evade. 17 ruptures. Just pop your special 2 and it's over. Come on, come on, come on. Yes, dude! Yes! That's what I'm talking about. Sasquatch! Otto! Immortals! It's over. Oh my god, it's over. So many runs. I wonder what Kabam is gonna think about this. Oh, game crashed. How fitting. I guess that's what they thought about it. The heck? Delete this? Or we will delete you. Oh.
Hello? Yes. This is Finkeldink. It seems we have found the wrong Brian Grant. This one had luscious locks. He looked like he bred and sold exotic rats. It looked like he had stock and Pantene Pro V. This was not the one we were looking for. We must begin a search anew. Tomorrow we will. What is this? Beans? Beans? Beans!